Now, what did your friends at school say when you told them your father was making an airplane?
They don't believe me. They think it's impossible.
Like a model airplane? No.
Yeah, I always get that response first. A model airplane? No.
Plane.
It's really flying.
Now, what do you think about your husband building a plane?
I think it's great. It's been really good for him because it's something he's always wanted to do, and his face just lights up, and I mean, he wants to talk about it all the time and share his experience. So it's been really good for him. And then he's learning. It's good for us always to keep learning new skills and things. So he's patient, and he's learning how to do new things, you know, with the fabric and all that. So absolutely.
Have you told your friends at school about the airplane?
I have, yeah. Most of them don't believe me. Yeah, I have a couple that do, that come over and come see it sometimes. They're always fascinated that it can be built in a garage.
And what about you, young lady? What about your friends?
They kind of believe me a little bit more because they know my dad more, and they're like,
Yeah, he's crazy enough to do that. Yeah.
like, is it in your house? No, it's in the garage. It's in the garage. It's not outside or anything.
Now, your previous plane was a 172.
Yes, sir. So I had a Cessna 172 for about 3 years when I was out of the Army for a while, and so we enjoyed that. Did a lot of traveling in that, and but part of the downside of that is, you know, I always felt like I was kind of hostage to the FBO and hostage to the AMPs, and you know, so I like learning all this stuff, even though it's a process to learn all this right now. I like that I'm going to be able to do the maintenance myself, condition inspections and major repairs, and
That's just your own oil.
change your own, just do basic things that you can't do with that certified airplane. And you know, and you know, flying with the doors off. You know, I went for a ride with a guy here who's got a trike, and that really changed my perspective about flying. From Cessna flying, looking out the little window, to you're flying out in the open like that. I'm like, that's the way you dream about flying. You don't dream about flying in a can. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that concerned you more than anything else about starting your kit, what would that be?
One is something I could finish in a reasonable amount of time, you know, and we are still on active duty, and we may still have to move again. And I don't want to move this thing in pieces. I'd like to fly it to the next location. So, you know, and I don't want something that's going to take me 10 years to build it. You know, I want something that's going to be made in a reasonable time, you know, so.
What would you say to others that are thinking about building a kit?
It's very rewarding. Learning new stuff. I mean, I had no idea how to do some of this type of drilling, some of this type of riveting, fabric work. Never heard of it. It's a great excuse to buy a lot of really cool tools that you've been wanting for years and years. Now you say it's the airplane, and so you need a lot of tools, so you can get a lot of good stuff you've been needing. And but I find it a very rewarding experience. I mean, just to learn the new things and I'm finding a lot of little stuff is applying to other things that I'm doing, even just the problem solving. You know, it's just teaching me a better way of thinking, I guess, you know, so.
What about the quality of the kit from the factory?
So I've had no problems with the quality, all the holes that they're doing, and I'm glad that the factory's doing the critical work, and that makes me feel better. Since it's my first airplane, and it's not their first airplane, so I'm glad that they're doing a lot of the critical holes and a lot of the spars being connected together, a lot of the important stuff that's going to hold my weight up is being done at the factory, so.
All right, so you're all happy campers then?
Oh, yeah.
Very excited to fly. Very excited.